Hello and welcome back to another episode of Real Estate Renovators, the business advisory show for real estate professionals. My name's Chanel and this is Rexy.
What's happening, Chanel?
It's hot. It's a beautiful day and we've got some beautiful guests with us today, Rexy.
We do. I'm excited about today's guest. I've wanted one of these guys on for a while. Another one as well. Sorry, I should take that back. One of the number one agent in Victoria last year. Sold over $600 million of housing in the last 18 months to 2 years. He's just recently kind of had a transition into a new agency as well.
Yep.
And he's also venturing into podcasting and shows as well. So, would you like to introduce our guests?
Absolutely. I'd like to introduce Matthew Pillios and Zana Pali. Welcome, guys.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for joining us. Where do we start, guys? Matt, can we start with your history, like from sports to...
For sure. Tell me what you want to know. And
how did you start into real estate? Because you weren't always in real estate.
Yeah, it's a good question. I'll be honest, I actually never wanted to... I feel bad to say this because I love real estate now and love being an agent now. But I actually never wanted to be a real estate agent because my dad was a real estate agent growing up. And, I saw a couple of things. It was a very intense job. I didn't see him a lot, because of the hours. A lot of times after hours, had to work and weekends. And also back in that day as well, you only had the landline in both offices, no mobile. So he's either at work, at the office to pay, or can come home. So predominantly, I didn't see him a lot, and obviously you saw trending markets go back and some crises in real estate. So, you saw, we had great times as a kid, then we had financially tough times. So when I saw that as a kid, I thought, I don't want to be a real estate agent, because everyone used to ask me when I was 16 to 21, do you want to be an agent like your dad? And I was like,
back then you were a sports star.
I was
Sports?
average.
Sports, did you not?
I didn't know this,
He
mate.
played AFL like at a very high level.
Did you?
Look, I obviously couldn't make it to the AFL and
Fox presenter.
AFL, but played Division 1 for the Essendon League for about 8 years, and it was quite a strong comp. It was always a stepping stone into VFL, AFL, but I just was not tall enough. But obviously, I did a lot of sport and played, the Vic Open when I was young, tennis, and just did a lot and stayed fit and stuff. But the commentating and all that was fantastic.
Just always driven.
Yeah, correct.
Always been driven.
Yes.
And that's still a big part of your lifestyle, health and fitness?
It really is, yes. I love
To tell the truth.
training.
Well, I just want to ask the question, Rexy.
I think really a couple of reasons. Early in the morning, if you get it out of your system, I reckon psychologically and mentally for the rest of the day, you feel good.
Couldn't agree
Even
more.
when you have that meal at lunch, healthy meal or even slightly not, but still pretty healthy, you feel amazing. And your body craves it. That and obviously physically as well, because the hours I put in, I feel like if I wasn't physically fit, I probably would, not last till probably 7, 8, 9 o'clock. Last night I walked in at home at 10 o'clock, worked till 8:30, had a client who had their 50th birthday, popped in for 45 minutes, went home. If I wasn't physically fit, I may have not got there. I might have been struggling at 6, 7 o'clock. So, but I think it's imperative for everybody, and, health is wealth. As Chanel and I think also, a lot of people don't invest in their health. They start spending the money when they get a little bit unhealthy.
Very
So,
true.
I just think it's, there's so much now knowledge about getting into fitness and health, so much on your phones and stuff.
It's not even just the fitness side of it, right, Matt? It's the psychological benefits. When you're in a position where you are under enormous pressure,
Yep.
you're dealing with a lot of different people,
Yep.
a lot of different personalities, and something a lot of people don't know about real estate, you're taking on the trauma, whether it's divorce or
100%.
death or any reason, and you've got to be that person that's coming in
Yes.
optimistic with high energy.
Yep.
It's very difficult to do that if
Yep.
you're not in a good place. So that's the psychological benefits too, right?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you get hit with a lot of things mentally and physically, but definitely, just if you're strong. And a lot of people too, in my game, is you're presenting, you're trying to sell yourself, and you got to look at your best version possible. So, and I think as I look at all three of you, you both all look amazing. So. If you look at the best version possible, I think that's a no-brainer.
Even on top of that, right? Sorry, Rexy, I'm jumping in here. You form an impression of someone within the first 10 seconds of meeting them. We just met today. Within 10 seconds, we're all forming impressions of each other. It's psychological.
Yeah.
When you're in a position where you are listing or selling someone's property, you're selling yourself.
Yes.
So that impression, you need to be on the top of your game, particularly in a luxury market, right, Matt?
100%. Yeah. Look, the way you presented, I say to some people, see me on a Sunday, I'm wearing a cap. It's the only day, but every day, you know, suits, immaculate, hair. I mean, I hate doing my hair like this.
That's
great. You know, yours. But, you know, doing all that sort of stuff, grooves.
At least you had
all
him,
that.
don't complain.
Yeah, it's hard not doing that. But, you know, you've got to look. The biggest secret is to try to, you know, when I started my real estate career, you know, every second day I might have shaved it, and, you know, my haircuts were really short. And I remember one of my old directors said, I could see the scar you got from football in your head. And I was like, oh, so you used to just get it, you know, number 1 or number 2, whatever it was. So, but then all of a sudden, you know, I got better suits, better grooming, better presentation, etc.
Transition into a luxury market. You didn't start a luxury market. You just didn't, unless you grew up in where you're selling now.
No, we're selling units in Hyde and Hampton East, and, you know, for 600-800 grand. And, you know, it was always about a journey for sure.
How do you then tap into that market, the luxury market?
Yeah, it was a big effort to get there. It took a lot of blood, sweat and tears, a lot of rejection, you know, when you're looking for, but everyone I probably met Zana made a point to me about a month ago. She said, look, and she said it as a friend, but also a client. She said, you've come a long way since I first met you 4 years ago, you know, so it's about having really, really elite product knowledge, because the clientele in the luxury market are at a very high standard. So you've really got to know your per square meters, you've got to know your products. When they call me and say, you know, what does a client want when they're spending 10, 15, 20 million, you'll tell them, you know, your service levels have got to jump. You know, I think, you know, I've been your agent for a few years, but most people will text me at 10, they'll text me at 5 a.m. I'll get back to them just about whenever I can, Sundays, etc. So it's just about elevating the service to the higher level of clientele.
Can I ask, Zana, he's changed a lot in the last 5 years. What have you noticed? What are the differences?
I think the first initial thing that when I met Matty was he was driven. It was his drive. He stood out. It didn't matter what time I was messaging or calling, he would answer and can give me the answer straight away as well. Whereas other agents, I feel like in the space, they take their time. They're kind of used to just having those properties, so they don't make as much effort. With this one, I was like, I know he's always going to fight for the top best price. So I think that's what's always been.
Yeah.
You've always been that way since the start. But the changes, Matthew, understanding the attention to detail with the properties, you've come very far with that. Like, you know now, walking into a house straight away, what something costs to build.
Yeah.
What that's worth.
How do you get that kind of knowledge?
It's probably experience. You know, it's being experienced in those.
Is that from to help as well? Because you're
working with different developers. Like, he's in the space now, working with very high-end developers. You learn. Like, he's flipped how many properties have you sold now in the high-end market? A lot.
600.
The best of the best. You know.
Yeah.
So of course you're gonna. Well, if you're smart enough, you can learn things along the way. But it's if you really want to. Like, you have to want that drive. Like, you have to really, really want it. And Maddie does. So, like, that's something that I noticed about you. Because there's a million agents always fighting for our properties.
Yeah.
Always.
It's always hard. It's always competitive for sure.
Always.
I think in the luxury market, though, when you think about the luxury real estate market, Matt, your name will always come up. Mm-hmm. You know, when I'm speaking to candidates, when I'm speaking to clients, it's Matt Pillios, luxury real estate. Matt Pillios, luxury real estate.
That's nice.
How do you build that brand?
Look, yeah, it took years, and I had a really good mentor at Marsh White early days with Marcus Kiminello, who really has taken it. Now he's a competitor at Marshall White, and I'm okay in Burton, but, you know, a great friend, and, you know, just really a lot of his behaviours. I reckon in 2020 and 2021, he said, he used to pull me on good things, but also bad things. No, Matt, this is the behaviour you should do. These are the sort of habits you should have. You know, it's just about being professional and service, and, you know, offering, you know, off-market listings and offering, you know, just great service, offering buyers and just that collaboration. So
loyalty as well. You've got a lot of loyalty, a lot of loyal clients.
Yeah.
It's because you're honest. You're not someone that's fake in the industry. There's a lot of fake people.
Particularly in the Brighton Bayside market, right?
Everyone talks. Reputation's fundamental. So
Absolutely.
And it's always, it is. It's always about working hard. So a lot of times someone will ask me I've got a client now, it's not Zana, it's someone else, and I think his house is worth, you know, I've got to be careful, significantly lower. So when he said, I want to choose you as the agent, but this is what I want you to get, I think it's worth. I said, look, as I said, this is where I think it is, but I'm going to do everything I can to get your price. You know, I didn't say, yep, it's worth it, and agreed with him. So let's have a go. Let's test the market, because I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. And there's been times I thought a property was worth 8.5, it was worth 9. So you'll be honest and transparent all the time. So, and then other times you'll tell them the great news, but you also tell them negative feedback. And so this is not Matt Pillios' feedback. This is the buyer game today. They just thought that living room was too dark or small or etc. And it's even hard, sometimes I'll build great friendships, but it's all about honesty and transparency, because in the luxury market, Chanell, most people are very intelligent, they're very educated, and these are the sellers. So, it's respect and heart. I just want to see you work hard.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, Zana, you've obviously chosen to list with Matt on multiple occasions. What is it about him that sets him apart? Obviously, you mentioned drive and hunger.
Personality.
Yeah, the personality.
Stop that for what?
Yeah,
can we learn more about Zana?
Yeah, of
Our viewers
course.
may not know.
Yes.
Not everyone knows.
So interesting, Rex. There's just so much.
You were a lawyer at one stage.
I was in family and criminal law for 6 years.
Wow.
Which was interesting. You meet all sorts of people. But my drive and passion has always been within property.
And you're a developer now, huh?
Yeah. So my family have always been in development. My dad's a very big builder. He's done over 400 projects. So he's phenomenal. But I guess my main focus is more on the luxury high-end market within Brighton. We've done some in Port Melbourne as well, but mainly Brighton. So it's very niche market. But yeah, I love it.
So how many years have you been doing this?
Since I was 19. Oh, well.
So recently?
I'm 30.
6 years ago. Rex is very Chanell. How do you keep him like this? He's very
Sharp. You're sharp.
And what made you choose Matt?
We did have a different agent that we used to use, actually. I saw Matt in an auction first, and I was impressed. So that was the initial kind of thing that I noticed. And then he came and negotiated on one of my dad's properties, which wasn't even for sale. And we were like, it's not for sale, it's not for sale. And he just kept hustling. And I was like, there's no way we're selling this. And he managed to convince us when we were absolutely not selling. So I was like, he can do that when it's not even on the market and we're not interested in selling. I'm like, imagine what he'd do for me.
Yeah.
So that was the initial thing that kind of made me like, okay, he's a hustler. He's going to work hard. He's going to push hard. And that was a very high-end property. So I'm like, he knows his stuff. So we started like that.
Yeah.
And then
That was really when the trust started.
That actually was. And then I listed one of my own individual homes with you.
Yep.
And then that's when we really had to work together.
Yeah.
When you were terrified of me.
I was.
Yeah.
Why so easy? Damn.
It is.
It was just, she keeps me on my toes, that's for sure.
Look, I know what things are worth. I know what things are worth.
Like I'm always honest with her. Sometimes she was fantastic, because with the higher end properties, you've got to really qualify buyers. A lot of people just want a sticky beat. And it's been phenomenal in terms of having Zana, because she will actually help me Google.
Like a private investigator as well?
Really?
Data on this buyer. And one time she said, "No, this guy lives out in so-and-so suburb." I honestly don't believe that.
No deal.
I find out
And
everything.
she was correct,
I find out everything.
Women have a way that men don't know. We can find out anything and
I
everything.
was like, "Nah, he's a good guy, he's got
Women are
cafes."
just on. I
She said,
can't.
"No, I can
Men just
feel it."
don't get it. We can just find the details.
He's not.
Rex, with these two, don't lie, don't.
I do lie.
Honesty. It's a great policy.
Exactly right.
It always comes down to the end.
So yeah, that's how we started. And then since then, it's been many buy, flips, sell.
Yep.
Yeah, it's been a lot.
You can see the friendship almost family-like now. And
We are actually. He tells everyone I'm his sister.
mother and cousin.
I don't believe it, She says your second cousin. I saw it at the pantry today. Yeah.
Everyone always sees me at the pantry.
Just go to Instagram. You'll see her too. And I'll say, "Yep, she's on fire."
He's
there."
just
So-
stuck with me the full time.
And we hear you got a podcast of your own thing.
Yeah, we are.
launched soon.
Yeah, well, it's going to be amazing. But I actually just see Zana as one of the few really, and excuse me to any other female developers in that higher end aren't around. But
Is there many?
I don't know.
Female developers.
And I just thought, it's been a very male-driven. And so when I had the time off, when I resigned from Marshall White, had a couple of months non-compete, I said, it'd be great to do. I've got a great media background. I said more for Zana, because her and her family have been amazing to me. I said, you should be really getting yourself out there as a development. Do your own development, but also a consultant, because there's so many females that probably aren't comfortable to go and ask a male for their design, but if they had a successful, proven female developer, I said, it's really niche. I said, you're young, you're a family woman, and I said, the best way to get yourself out there is to be speaking about it, like jump and listen to you. Let's start that. We'll get some really special guests. Predominantly the area we would focus on is where I sell real estate and where Zana lives, which is the Bayside area, Brighton, surrounding suburbs, but also Port Phillip, Albert Park, Middle Park, and really potentially film it at some really luxury homes. Clients of mine, I've already spoken to some clients, have said yes, and really collaborate with some high profile people as well. I spoke to Jack Rewalt last week. He said, let me know and I'll come on. And
You're the
It's a bit of a
agent
Melbourne,
to the stars, aren't
Melbourne
you?
selling sunset. I think it's sounding like it could be.
That would be fun.
That would be so fun, wouldn't
It'll
it?
be great, So obviously, from my time point, my clients and real estate come first, but I just think this would be a great pathway for us to be able to provide great knowledge in the property and luxury space.
Matt, touching on, obviously, you've gone from a different market to hitting the luxury market. Say there's an agent watching, and I'm sure there would be, because I get asked this question a lot. Say they're listing and selling in Coburg, Brunswick, but they're wanting to tap into that luxury market. How do you go about that, and what advice would you give?
Yeah, it's a good question. The luxury market they want to get in there, they've got to try to really, it's patience, because it's trust is the biggest thing. It's much harder to get
Networking?
Networking's a big thing. So I'll give you an example with Brighton. When I started, I wasn't really selling a lot in Brighton, but I sent some things I did was send my kids to Brighton Primary, and I wasn't even living in the area. Then we got into the area, and I sponsored the school, the local Brighton Primary School. I used to network and do a lot of the auctions and charity stuff in the local area, things like that. And just started taking out a lot of clients for lunches and dinners, but offering my service. So can I bid for you at this auction? Can I help you negotiate? Did you want me to do a feasibility, Chanell, on that block of land for the 2 townhouses that you want to develop? And I can tell you what I think it'd be worth. So just offering great service. Once you get some momentum, it was about staying in there. But it's just trying to get it. Look, you've got to really be from that area. So if someone was in Coburg and they wanted to get into the Brighton or Toorak or Kew or Hawthorn market, it'd be in their best interest to have a network there, as Rex said, and also try to live as close to there as possible.
But you didn't necessarily have the network when you started there.
No, I didn't.
You just created it by sending your kids to school there. And I mean, that's some serious hustle.
Started hanging out with the dads, and look, it's great people. It's been a great move because I was originally from Essendon and moved across the Bayside about 14 years ago.
And recently transitioning over to Kane Burton, Matt.
Yeah.
Why and how? And tell us all about that.
Yeah, Kane Burton were the company that was always, Marshall were quite good in the space, but look, after 6 years, I just wanted to be in a different environment, and Kane Burton were a great company that I'd initially, a good friend of mine, Nathan Jones, is the CEO, and he sort of was on me a bit last year, and I said, I was currently a director at Marshall White, but it was always the brand that was in the prestige better, especially in Brighton where I am. So really dominated the $6 to $20 million market. Outside the few sales that I did at Marshall White myself, it was always Kane Burton, and I actually collaborated quite well with their Toorak office. So after a few personal things that I just decided to make the move. I did nearly, as Rex knows, I was originally always Kane Burton, and I had a massive offer come, which was just huge financially, from the White family, who owned Ray White, to open a Melbourne luxury office like Gavin Rubenstein has in Sydney, the Rubenstein Group, and it was a great honour. And it was all about happening, and I think Zana knew all about it. But then all of a sudden, Kane Burton,
Logos, yeah.
we had logos.
Everything, you see.
Yeah, I saw everything.
But then, Kane Burton, I had some initial chats, and it was a tough decision. But in the end, it was an easy decision because I just knew that was the company to be there. And there was always a company originally I was speaking with and had, great rapport, and always had aspirations to go to the last couple of years to get that higher. And I've got
Smart.
my listings the last 3 months have been better than just about I ever had at Marshall White.
Why do you think that is?
Well, I think the experience. I think a lot of people appreciated the move, to be honest, and I think the luxury brand of Kane Burton, that real high end, Chanel. I've got a couple of properties at the moment north of 10 million. I've just listed one for 26 million.
Well,
which is the biggest of my career. I had a sale.
congratulations.
Yeah, it's awesome. If I could sell, I showed a buy through today. It took me 40 minutes. It was amazing. Love to show you guys through if you want to come through. But having properties like Zana's at circa 11 mil plus and a few others, it's really helped.
12 million.
Matthew.
The funniest thing, I'll tell them the story. So when I was speaking to her last year, she goes, you're going to get over 10 mil. Then about 2 months later, she goes, you're going to get over 11 mil. And when Alyssa, she goes, I want 12 mil. I was like, okay, but this is why she's the greatest. Greatest clients. But yeah.
Look, the transition's been great. From seeing it from an outside, like you've had more press in the last 2 months.
It's crazy.
Ever before, I think.
It's difficult though, right? When your name is so heavily attached to one brand, how does it then get received?
Because it's
was,
already.
but then obviously the transition over, like for any agent, right? When you're associated heavily with one brand and then you transition over to the next, people ask questions. It's like reputation's everything in this industry, right? So it's like, why did they move?
I think it's different though for Matthew, because it wasn't really Marshall White that had the reputation. It was Matthew Pillios that had the reputation in Brighton. It doesn't matter where he goes. It's always going to be Matthew Pillios. Doesn't matter what agency you're with, you would always succeed. Because you have got the name now.
You build the brand,
The brand is bigger than anywhere you go.
Yeah, I think digital, thank you. And I think digital helps that a lot too.
True.
Yeah.
But look at those articles this week in the Herald Sun about you. It was nothing about the agency. Really.
It's irrelevant.
Yeah. It was,
Do you think that's because of like social media, like how you're marketing yourself individually?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's been really, really good. A good friend of mine, Brodie Holland, got me into he was really big on socials. Ex-colleague play him and Sarita do a bit of influencing.
Yes, I know them.
And he was really he started making a lot of money and educated me back in 2010 and 2011. He's like, mate, I'm doing all this Instagram and Facebook stuff. And so when I started real estate in 2015, sort of speaking to Brodie quite regularly, and he was like, I just promote your real estate stuff. I sort of mirrored him, and then all of a sudden I just got really legs. I'll never forget I sold a property on Facebook. For 5 mil, 5.5 mil.
It's crazy what social media can do.
And I was getting text messages on Facebook. Marty Fox is a mate of mine as well. And, he had great success. And we caught up about 4 or 5 years ago. And we've both really leveraged it. We've both got, social media has been great.
Well, particularly when it's everyone's obsessed with homes, it's everyone, but particularly luxury homes.
I want to see content.
Yeah, but if they can see through the eyes of a luxury home and a luxury agent, then you build that brand and then it gets shared out. It's just like instant listings, buyers, potentially. Obviously, you're in a luxury market, but the reach social media has as an agent and the individual profiling that you can give yourself outside of a brand is so powerful.
Yeah, it has been. It's been great. It's helpful.
What's the future holding, both of you?
You first.
Oh, my main goal is to take over Brighton. I want to be the biggest developer there. So that's my agenda.
How is that as a female, Zana?
You really have to prove yourself. I think it's a lot harder as a woman. But I think, over the years, I've definitely developed a reputation and name for myself in the industry. So now I actually have a lot of male developers calling me about what they think about a project or what they can build on a certain piece of land. They'll call me.
That's great.
Yeah, or they'll speak to Maddie and they'll be like, what would Zana think about this?
Yeah.
So it's just about developing your reputation, name and brand so it's strong enough so that when you do your projects, people know it's a prestige product. They know that this is someone that actually puts in the time and effort and the attention to detail in these properties. So it's you do have to prove yourself.
Certainly, and it's not easy though. Like you're obviously a beautiful female in an incredibly male-dominated industry, and we know what it's like. It can be hard to be taken seriously when you are, an attractive female.
The boys on site are pretty scared of me.
I can tell that the man sitting next to you right now. So well done with that.
And her cousin Dylan's a MMA fighter. So
I'm quite protected. That's just
very good. Love to hear it.
But I think with Zana, her dad has been a really great builder in Port Phillip and Bayside for 25, 30 years.
35
So I think you growing up as a kid, watching him do drafts and watching him build places, obviously your product knowledge was organic.
Yeah.
Always on building sites.
Makes
And
sense.
vicariously, I was always learning.
And your mum Zen was quite astute, so you're very lucky. It's
it
in
was
your blood.
brilliant. It's always been in our family. So for me, it was just kind of no-brainer. And obviously just the passion, the drive that's just me with any industry I'm in.
It's super inspiring.
I love it.
It's insane. So good.
Thank you.
And you, Matt?
Look, for myself, is just to keep going. For me, family is everything. My lovely wife, Belle, and the kids.
So cute.
That's always, home is the most important thing for myself. So just to watch my kids and wife and spend as much quality time is the best thing. Professionally is to continue to offer great service to my clients and loyal clients and friends. And, do an amazing job with Kay and Burton. And, enjoy the next 15, 20 years and hopefully I can retire by 15 years.
It's once
Not
it's in your
retire,
blood,
never
it's, yeah,
retire.
it's hard to get out.
think
Yeah, I don't see that happening here.
I've got to slow
No.
down.
You don't
Now that I'm 41, you know, I'd like to slow down.
Can you get us
Oh, sorry. That was a little bit of this thing.
One last piece of advice, Matt. How do you balance it all? As an agent, a father,
Yep.
active into fitness,
And with Zana,
And-
as a mum as well.
yeah, and both of you. How do you
Yeah.
manage the balance? It's a massive struggle in this industry.
Yeah, and you're quite busy as well. I'll just go with work. With real estate, it's quite taxing. And I think we're having a chat offset. I've really learned how to balance myself because I really suffered bad burnout at the end of 2019. I just worked so hard. When I had a breakout year, I ended up having stars under my eyes and run down. So I really invest in health. I'm on a lot of healthy supplements like I carry. People that, what are those pills? It's Alpha Brain, it's Armour Force, it's joint tablets, it's NMN, I've got NMN, it's anti-aging.
Oh, no. Oh, man.
It does cost money. It is an investment. I eat well. So all that sort of stuff, it's the 1%ers. Like people go, like, you love your green juices. And I said, you know what, I'd rather be having a chocolate milkshake, but green juice with kale, spinach, etc. like that helps me keep healthy, helps me my inside state, and eating quite well, sleeping. But look, just mentally, psychology, like, for example, like this year I booked 4 weeks, the first time I've been in Europe for 9 years, but a 4-week break, and then I've already booked my Christmas holiday, so we're going to go to Bali. We've got a villa in Seminyak and stay there for 4 weeks. So I've already booked that in. So to answer your question, it's all about sprinting, break, making sure I get a lot of rest. And also psychologically, Chanell, you know that when you get, like when I'm in the grind, look, Belle, I'll say to my wife, I'm exhausted, but guess what? We're going to be we've got Greece in 8 weeks. We've got Greece as a countdown. When you got that trip you can look forward to or something, you'll really push hard. And it's also being disciplined. I don't drink any alcohol and do anything
You're not partying.
silly or party from Monday to Friday. I'll rarely have a drink on a Saturday. A lot of times I can go 2 or 3 months quite easily without not drinking, and just stays physically healthy. As I said, that's that sacrifice I make, for my clients, because I say to a lot of clients, I said, yep, it could be quite boring, but sometimes I could get a call at 9:30 to negotiate, and if I've had 1 or 2 drinks, it's good.
For sure.
I'll get calls on a Sunday, and if I've been going out on a Saturday night, etc. So it's really being disciplined and compromising and sacrificing a lot of those events. I get invited every Friday and Friday night to big boozy lunches, so I don't go because Saturday is my busiest day. So it is a big effort. It's planning, it's discipline, and it's commitment, but it's possible.
It also sounds like you've got a very supportive and understanding family. That, when you're making calls at 9:30 p.m. on Sunday,
For sure.
they're supporting it. They're not saying, why are you on the phone?
Yeah, I couldn't have done any of this without my wife, and she's so supportive. She still works 4 to 5 days a week as a stylist. It's actually quite nice because we get to engage and speak every second day. She's like, Matt, I'm still in this place. Where's the key?
It's really cute.
What do you want this? What's the? It's nice. So the fact that I get to speak to her a few times during the day sort of makes up at night time. That by the time she's finished with her work and the kids and the admin and etc. But teamwork makes the dream work. I have no doubt I wouldn't have this success if it wasn't for the support of Belle.
Zana,
That's really sweet. I love them. Them two together, it's beautiful. It's like, it's inspiring. Like, it's really nice. Good.
Thank you. Thank
How
you.
do you balance it?
I think for a woman, it's a little bit different because I think like the mothering role and things like that really more so for the woman. It's just natural in society. So I guess prioritizing your time is very, very imperative. And I mean, it is sacrifice. Because
Your husband work long hours.
he works
himself.
he's a property lawyer and he works very long hours. So it's about having a partner that is supportive for you to have a career and be able to balance the time between children and, being on site or networking, which is a big part of my business as well. So I think the biggest thing is definitely who you surround yourself with, because you need to be on all the time. So you can't have anyone draining your life because that takes up your time. So be very, very focused on who you're surrounding yourself with, people that are going to lift you up, that are going to support you, drive you. That's important to me. Having a partner that supports you is huge, massive. And also just get your priorities. What's important to you? What comes first, second, third, fourth, and stick to that in your daily routine. And exercise. I do love to exercise, like my mental outlet. because you need time away from business.
I think you should take Chanell for a boxing session.
I would love to. I love a boxing
All
class.
them there, and Rex would be scared like I am.
You can fight too, actually.
Guys, it sounds like, look, success cultivates success, and your network, in a non-horrible way of saying it, is your net worth. Who you surround yourself with will be who you will become, and the two of you have such incredible synergy together. Both have done fantastic things, and it sounds like it's only just the start. I look forward to hearing all about the Selling Sunset Melbourne Edition podcast.
Zana says she'd love to have you both as guests. Congratulations on this. I've watched you guys for the last 12, 18 months. It's amazing. Great synergy. Great. You both got amazing reputations in the property industry, so well done.
It's really kind.
But for you two as well.
It's all about you guys, so thank you, Matt. It's very kind of you to mention it to us. But thank you. I look forward to coming to the underground nightclub before it sells.
Yes.
I think as soon as I hopefully sell it soon. As soon as I sell it, you've got to let me have a party there. I'll have to negotiate in the content. My daughter wants to have her, my son wants to have his 15th birthday.
More than welcome. And a lawyer.
Oh, it was lovely to have you both on. Thank you so much. I know you're both busy people, so thank you so much for your time. And we will see you on the next episode of Real Estate Renovators.